Welcome to episode 23 of the Let's Go podcast. My name is Justin.
I'm Kelly.
And we're back.
We are.
And we're going to jump right on into it. We're going to talk about some Star Wars spoilers.
If you haven't seen it by now, you deserve to be spoiled.
We're in early February, so
it's been long enough.
Yeah, up yours if you haven't seen Star Wars.
But the instant rating, gotta go. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
legendary.
Go.
Legendary.
If you love Star Wars, then you'd love this movie.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And I you know what?
How many times have you seen it so far?
I've seen it twice.
Okay, me too.
Once in 3D, once in regular D. 2D.
Regular D.
Regular D. The regular D. And I enjoyed both. My only gripe with both of the theaters I went to is I feel like it was quiet. Like I want to hear battle scenes. I want them loud. I want to hear like the roars of the freaking starfighters and things and X-wings and whatever. And it seemed a little tame, a little quiet for me. So.
You see it in IMAX 3D or was it just regular?
I don't know if it was IMAX. It was. We went to iPic, one of those like super luxury theaters where they got the huge recliners and blankets and people bring you food to your table.
Wait, they gave you blankets?
No, there's a blanket on the that comes on the chair.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, you pay some. It's a little bit. It's like a $25 ticket.
Yeah,
but in the end of it, you're like sitting in a comfy chair. People bring you food, beverages, whatever you want.
Someone else's blanket. They're like, "Oh, a blanket."
No, I'm sure they're clean.
Okay.
They like have it's like an airliner. They have like the little blanket in a bag on the whatever, and they clean them. Oh, excuse me.
Cut that.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that out. But I mean, yeah, it was still just a little quiet. For my liking. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was IMAX or not.
I don't remember, to be honest, my the sound and everything from the times I saw it. Like both times I saw it was in like the new theaters with the cushy chairs.
Yeah.
And I know on the second time they had one of those tables that was like, it felt like you were in a college class and it kept spinning in my way. I'm like, I don't want this here. And there was nowhere to put it. Like
Get out of here.
It didn't fold down. It was just always there. So it was either going to hit my kid or hit me. And so I just kind of had it. But I really, really liked this movie. I don't want to talk about criticisms yet, but I want to talk about all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think
I didn't shed a tear, but I know people who did.
Oh, dude, I was close.
Magic
I was
moments.
Really close.
There were some magic moments.
So I called it like at first for a little bit. I was like, they're going to freaking kill Chewbacca. That's what I thought. And I was like, you don't kill dogs in movies. You know? Like, you don't kill a dog.
He's not a dog. He's a Wookiee.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like he is basically a dog. So you don't kill Chewbacca's, though they did kill an Ewok in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. That was real sad.
He's off. But I was like, I kind of knew going into it, expecting someone's going to die. It's probably going to be Han Solo for a little bit, though. I was like, Chewbacca's going to die. But yeah, you knew he was going to die because he was so Han Solo-y.
Right.
I think that's what it was. I mean, he was Han Solo, but he was like getting as much Han Solo out as he could that you were like, oh, he's done. He's done for in this movie. So, but I was glad he came back to it. Like that was the one guy I thought Harrison Ford doesn't want to do Star Wars again. But
I love the comical dialogue between him and Chewbacca, or him and anybody for that matter. He just like the little quippy one-liners and
he was good. Like it was like, oh, he slipped right in, into being Han Solo again. It was like, man, he hasn't done this for like 30 something years, but he's Han Solo. He's just a little more slow and
wasn't sold on Princess Leia, but it was right.
Princess Leia was awful. Like I was like I was that criticisms. I was like,
we can launch into criticisms. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, she just seemed like she was there. She didn't feel very Princess Leia to me. She just seemed like a different character, and plus her face was just so stiff. She was like this. I think she looked great, but she just didn't seem like Princess Leia. I think I wanted a little bit of that like back and forth with her and Han.
Yeah.
It was more of like, oh, you have that jacket. And he's like, it's a different jacket, but it wasn't like
she's just had so much plastic
surgery. I like that fire. I just kind of like the I don't know, like the spunk she used to kind of have.
Yeah.
I mean, she's older, so she's probably not as spunky, but I don't know. She just didn't feel right to me.
I agree.
So
I concur.
But I liked how Han Solo was with Finn and with Rey, like all that. I was
But he was with Chewie.
with Chewie. Yeah,
Oh, you're
Chewbacca.
cold?
yeah. Chewbacca, man, he was great too. I guess Chewbacca's are really old.
What a Wookiee.
What a Wookiee. Great job. I was reading something because during this time, like my kids have been asking more about like, well, because my son got a Millennium Falcon for Christmas and there's a Chewbacca, and then I ended up finding an old Chewbacca and I gave it to him. He's all, Dad, I'm gonna pretend this is Chewbacca's brother. So we came up with this whole story. Okay, well, he's Chewbacca, so his name's Stu Baca.
Lou Baca.
Yeah. Oh, Lou would have been better. Lou Baca. So, but I was like, does Chewbacca have a brother? So I was like reading all this thing on Wikipedia about Chewbaccas and Wookiees and stuff, and apparently he was already like 200 years old or something like that when Han Solo got him. I think I could be off. He was just really old because Chewbacca saved him. I mean, Han Solo saved him from something, and then he just he was his best friend.
Word.
There you go. So yeah, I loved all that, dude. Side note: there was this like little like 9-panel like comic someone put out, like a little story, so, not affiliated with Star Wars at all. It was like, hey, here's my interpretation of Star Wars: The Force Awakens scene. So you know how Chewbacca, spoilers, not kills, but he tries to shoot Kylo Ren like right after like Kylo like kills Han. So it has this like little comic of like Chewbacca holding baby, Kylo Ren and hanging out with him as a kid, like playing a little bit with him. And then it shows like Kylo Ren starting to grow up. He's becoming like a teenager and he's a little more like emo looking and whatever.
Right.
And it shows Chewbacca trying to relate and it's like, he doesn't want to hang out with Uncle Chewbacca anymore, And then then it goes to that scene of like where Chewbacca's about to like shoot him, and it shows like from Chewbacca's perspective, he's got a clear headshot on him, and then he flashes back to when he was a baby and all the good times, and so he lowers his gun to kind of get him in the side, and you're like, oh, he still cares about him. I don't know, that was nice, dude. It was like it was, dude. It made me have tears. I was like, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant little like piece of like fans contributing to something that I was like, man, they should pay that guy and use that sequence somewhere. Yeah, like in episode 9 or something. Yeah. If Chewbacca lives that long.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting twist if they threw that in there. And as soon as he got to that bridge and he's like, "Ben," I was like, no.
Yeah, he's done.
Bye, Han. I know now. I liked the Kylo Ren character. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, like that first scene when he's like, kill them all or whatever, and just like walked away. I was like, yes, villain.
Yeah, he's super bad. Like that part where who was his name? Poe. He shoots like the laser rifle at him, and he like freezes like the laser in the. That was cool. I was like, dang, he's got some straight up force power. Yeah. But then like sometimes he doesn't have a lot of force power.
Force is strong with that.
Force is strong, but he's not like a master yet. Maybe
he's like, it's gonna be a terrible analogy, but most vampire lore, when they become a new vampire, they're like at their strongest, at their peak. But they're also very
scattered,
irritable, kind of like they still have that humanity part, but then they're still like
they're not focused.
Embrace the power, they're like taking advantage of it. They don't like Obi-Wan Kenobi it and harness it and use it for good.
Because he never made it through. That was the thing. Was like Luke was training him, and then something happened, and so he hasn't mastered the Force, but. He's kind of like...
It made it sound like almost like another Darth Vader episode to where he was bringing up a whole new bunch of Jedis. Yeah. And now he's the only one. Yeah. So it made it seem like another like Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader...
Well, he's... Okay,
look at the flowers type of episode.
Well, he's like Kylo Ren, I think he was probably so like knowing the legacy of his family and kind of like, Grandpa was going to do this. I want to be like Grandpa, probably saw the power that Darth Vader had. And Luke was probably like, hey, nephew. Right. This is not a good idea.
Let's have some real talk.
Yeah, he probably was like, no, I'm going to be like Grandpa. Grandpa wanted to, own the galaxy. And I thought the guy, Adam Driver, did a great job. Like, super, I feel like he played it younger, but that guy's like 30-something years old. But I feel like Kylo Ren, he's got to be 30 because it's 30 years later, Right. You imagine Luke and Leia hooked up, got married, whatever.
You mean Han and Leia?
Sorry. That's what George Lucas intended. So Han and Leia, they probably a couple years after Jedi, they have a baby. So maybe he's like late 20s, early 30s. But there was parts where he seemed very like young.
I got you.
But he was tough, dude. Like there was something about when he got injured, he kept hitting his side like, I was like, there was like,
man up.
Yeah, man up. But there was like a craziness to it. Like, dude, he's just like, he's gonna keep going. But yeah, he was really good. And some people, I've read a few complaints like they didn't like his mask. I thought his mask looked cool. I thought he looked,
the whole thing was badass. Like the voice.
Yeah.
And I thought
talks like this.
I love the fact that he took off the mask.
Yeah.
And, you know, did both. I'm sure we'll see less of it, less of his quote unquote human side.
Yeah.
As things progress, kind of Darth Vader-ish, in that same vein. But I like the mask. I like the voice.
Yeah.
I like the effects they put on it. Like it was.
He was immediately like accepted, not to do this, but to go back to like episode 1.
Right.
Like Darth Maul was like, hey, like everyone thought, oh, Darth Maul's cool. Like visually, I think Darth Maul doesn't really look like he fits into Star Wars universe. I don't know. There's something about him that looked more like 90s aggro. Like, I don't know. I feel like he was like a Slipknot character or something, but like, but like people like took him on. Like, I think he had that double lightsaber. So like, oh, he's cool. And he brought something different to Star Wars. But like Kylo Ren, I think he just fits right in. Like if you saw him like on a sheet of characters, like, oh dude, you accept him as part of the universe, you know?
Yeah. So before we move into beers, let's move into theories.
Yeah. I've got so much Star Wars thoughts. So. All right. I've got tons.
Dish them.
Yeah. Oh, well, I still wanted to like kind of.
Who is Rey? That's the one
I think
theory.
I'm glad there's no answer, because the thing with Rey is I kind of think, and I don't care if I'm wrong, I kind of think that she's Han Solo's daughter.
Right.
Just because he didn't want to jump right out and be like, you're my daughter. Because there may have been stuff like, hey, I gave you away to my brother-in-law. He's going to Jedi train you. Maybe he was like, I don't know. But I feel like the way he was like, hey, I'm going to give you a job on this ship. Like he wanted to keep her close. I mean, it could be his niece.
Right.
I don't think she's related to Obi-Wan Kenobi. A lot of people are like, oh, it's Obi-Wan's like daughter or something. I'm like, when did Obi-Wan have time to like...
Yeah. The Han and Leia connection, you know, that they have, that Luke and Leia were twins.
Yeah.
So twins runs in their family. So that would make more sense for Ben, aka Ren, and Rey to be,
aka Matt. Did you see that Saturday Night Live thing where
no.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
You got to watch the Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry.
So it would make sense that they were twins, and then like when everything went awry, they put Rey somewhere safe.
Yeah.
To where like, you know, Ben, aka Ren, wouldn't come back or whatever. And it would make sense that Luke's saber would call to her, as they said in that one part. There was one interesting part of the flashback. It's totally not, I guess, relevant to a theory, but interesting part of the flashback when she touched his saber that wasn't in the movie. There was one part that wasn't. Like Ren was standing over her.
Yeah.
And it was snowing, and then there was like guards or stormtroopers behind him.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the movie at all. But the rest of the flashback, like the forest, all that stuff was. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of... I wonder
She's
if that
got
was
a repressed memory.
Maybe that was a flash forward.
Maybe so. Maybe... I don't know. That's cool. I don't know, man. I'm excited for, like, when Luke was coming, I was like, dude, I knew that Luke wasn't just going to show up there. I'm going to find him. I knew it was going to be like a cliffhanger of Luke, and it was kind of cool that he's at one of those Jedi temples. Just kind of looked like he was mourning. Looked like he was at like a grave site. Right. It looked like there was a tombstone. I don't know if that's relevant in like if they mourn their dead in a galaxy far, far away with tombs, but it looked like he was standing there when he saw her. I wonder if he I'm sure he sensed her, because he's like Force.
Yeah.
He's Jedi Knight, all that stuff. So he was probably like, I sense her coming up these stairs, and so he's ready to like, all right, either he's continuing training. Was she being trained by him earlier in her life? We don't know. Or is he like, dude, she's so Force sensitive, like kind of like how he was,
I don't know, but I'm gonna crap my pants when episode 8 starts. It's just like I have so much. Even like I know we're like 2 years out.
Yeah,
but I have so much anticipation. Right
I know
now.
They pushed it back to, it was supposed to be like May 2017. Now it's December 2017.
What?
Yeah, it's okay. We got Star Wars Rogue something coming out next year.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Dude, I heard Darth Vader's in it. But here's the thing. Okay, so a lot of critiques that I read was like, she was too Force powerful. She just found out, and I was like, in New Hope, like Luke was already using the Force on, he already was able to start using some of his powers, like people tend to forget, like a lot of criticisms of like, oh, it's so like episode 4. Well, of course, there's like things that make a Star Wars movie a Star Wars movie. Like I don't have a problem with them being twins, possibly, because that's a thing. That's been a thing. Like it's kind of like part of the Star Wars story. Some people want to complain just to complain. Like George Lucas doesn't even like. Well, that's reading an interview. Who's just kind of like, I guess we want to make the same thing.
Well, he's a wiener. Yeah,
he wanted to keep doing something different, which
Well, we obviously know how different worked out.
Yeah,
for him. So,
well, he's not hurting, dude. He made like $5 billion or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, Disney paid me $5 billion for a franchise.
I'm not really happy with the way
I can go sit and do nothing.
I'm gonna buy some flannel.
I'm gonna swim in a pool of money like Scrooge McDuck and just be unhappy.
And then that sucks. So some of the stuff that was cool was I liked that she was hanging out. She was living in like a crashed. What was the AT-AT? Was she living in?
I didn't know what she was living in.
Or hanging out. It looked like she was hanging out.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, there was this big starfighter or whatever that she was salvaging from. But yeah, she was definitely living in some. I think the AT-AT was just there.
I love all that, dude.
Now I'm confused. I hear people saying the AT-AT. I always called them AT-AT from when I was a little kid.
I think it's whatever you want to call it. Like I've always called it an AT-AT.
Right.
But it could be AT-AT. I mean, I always call it. Like, let's get into like the names, because I think that's part of the fun of it, because sometimes you get a toy, you're like, is it Ponda Baba or Ponda Boo Boo or what? I don't know. And there's always like, if you really want to get into it, people like will break down things like, well, if you look at Greek, well, it's Star Wars, yo.
We're not talking Greek. We're talking Star Wars.
Yeah. So okay. So what did you think about? Let's go about some characters. Like, what did you think about Rey?
I thoroughly enjoyed. She was like naive to a point, kind of like Luke was, young and foolish. You saw her mature and whatever through the film, even just learning about these force powers, and stuff. And she's smart. She's definitely smart. So I don't know. I enjoyed every character in here. There wasn't one like, why is that person here?
Yeah.
Like, why are we? Even the the weird alien that they went to go talk to, who they blew up their fortress or whatever afterwards. Like there was relevance in all that. You couldn't not have that explained. Why she, when she was telling Rey about like that's Luke's lightsaber and that has special, blah blah blah, special powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't really a character that I was like, what is this person doing here?
Yeah. I liked her. I liked that she kind of looked like Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Like she looked like she was from that lineage. I don't know if that was part of the,
no.
Obviously like they had to like cast.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. She like totally has
the
that
bloodline.
Look. Yeah. She's part of the bloodline. But I was talking to my wife, who's a female, right? And so the big thing was like, finally Star Wars has a female like protagonist. I'm like, I feel like every Star Wars has had a strong female. I mean, I think she's more in the center. She's obviously like the main. Right. It felt like, I felt like her and Finn kind of shared the main, but it was like Princess Leia was like badass from the get-go. Like I still remember that scene where she's like so frustrated in A New Hope, where she like grabs the laser guns, like bam, bam, bam. Like she straights out, takes all the stormtroopers out in the hallway. Like she's always been like tough. Right. Even Natalie Portman's character became a little more like aggressive towards the end of Phantom Menace. Like I felt like there's always been a good female like presence, where I just felt like when this came out, it was like, finally. I was like, what are you talking about? There's always been. Yeah. I'm a white male. I get it. Like I'm very well represented, but I'm saying I feel like
Oscar's so white.
Yeah. Yeah. Oscar's so white.
Un-PC.
You mean Finn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Was it an Oscar-worthy portrayal?
Yeah. Well,
but it was great.
Yeah.
But I didn't think, like, no, it's okay. Here, talking about that, my kid's favorite Star Wars character, Finn. He's like, Dad, I'm gonna be Finn. Not even a thing of like, oh, I don't look like Finn. It's just like Finn's cool because he was fun and he was a bad guy, but he turned good. That's why he likes him. Well, Dad, he was bad, but now he's good. It's like, all right, cool. My kid got it like that.
Yeah.
In a second, like, oh, I get why he's cool. Like, and I wouldn't say he's so much like Han Solo, where Han Solo was, well, maybe he is a little Han Solo because Han Solo was kind of a greedy, like smuggler and like, okay, fine, I'll be good at the end. But I think where he's different is he experienced like, oh, this sucks. Like my friend just died. Why are we doing this? Yeah. Like on the field.
See, Billy Idol gets it.
Billy Idol gets it. Finn gets it. So I liked his like progression of like, I got to get out of this, dude. This is bad news. Okay, biggest disappointments in Star Wars.
Okay.
Captain Phasma. They like kind of built her up like, oh, she's so important. She's going to be a big deal. And then she didn't really do anything. And then
she had like 4 lines.
Yeah, when they rolled up on her, they're like, give us this information, blah, blah, blah. She was like, okay. There was no like battle. She didn't try to like fight him off. She was like, they kept going, she's going to be like Boba Fett. Like, she was. Not much there. Looks really cool, but like nothing really happened with her. And it's kind of disappointing. Like, I really wish that she was more of an antagonist as well. Like almost a second in command to Kylo Ren, because it just felt like she looked cool. She didn't really do anything. And she like rolled over really quick, you know? I just, that was a disappointment to me because I was like, man, she looks cool.
I had no disappointments because I kind of went into it not with low expectations because I was expecting it to be awesome, but I have no complaints, honestly.
I don't think it's a complaint, but there's always like to be objective. Like, okay, I loved Star Wars, but man, I think they really missed. I don't think it would have taken away from the movie to give her a little bit of an arc. It just would have maybe solidified, man, okay, that's why she's important. That's why there's a bunch of like
who's
silver.
To say that they don't have insight for the next 2 episodes and she could play a huge role after that.
I get it, but it seemed like, why say, oh, she's so important to this movie and she really didn't do anything but walk around and look cool.
Right.
Like that trailer that they put out where she's kind of walking slow motion. I'm like, oh, dude, she's going to do something awesome. And, nothing. Confused about C-3PO's red arm. Like, remember he had a red arm? And then all of a sudden at the end, it's not red anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but I was like, what the heck? What's that even mean?
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
There's a few things I was kind of lost on.
Yeah, see, there's a couple things like when they get back, like Leia hasn't seen Chewbacca in forever, and she doesn't even give Chewbacca like a hug. He just kind of walks past her, and she's all hugging up on Rey, which, she knows Rey's either her niece or she knows Rey's her daughter.
Right.
Like, so I get that. But it just there wasn't an emotional connection. I know, like there's just little things I remember. I'm like, oh man, like if they would have filmed a hug between her and Chewbacca, like, oh my gosh, you haven't changed, or something like,
you're still a Wookiee.
Man, you still smell like a wet dog. Like things like that. But overall, yeah, it's definitely a gotta go. Obviously it is because it's making like $2 billion.
Absolutely.
So I read that people in China don't connect to it really well, though.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just saying. Like, some weird movie beat it, like, the next week it was out or something. Some weird, like, low-budget Chinese movie.
China's weird, man.
China is weird. It's a huge market, but it's weird.
It was weird when I went. Like, even musically from, like, a 2-hour drive, one town to another could be, like, oh, this town really loves 90s R&B, and you go to a club at the next place and they're doing like country karaoke. You're like, what is going on here? Yeah, it was super weird.
That's weird.
Super weird.
China.
Super weird. Get it together,
Gotta
China.
Go. Gotta go. Let's go. What do you give China as a country? Gotta go. Let's go. Don't go. Never go.
I'd say let's go.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone should travel.
I was being silly. Like China would be a beautiful place to go.
Everyone's got to travel,
All right, so there's kind of our
Star Wars synopsis.
I know I would love to go like 4 more hours on Star Wars, but I know we can't. You can go other places and find out more Star Wars information, but
most people have already seen it.
Maybe if it was a month earlier, we'd have more. It's not as fresh in my mind either.
Right, same here.
I liked Star Wars, but I've got to move on.
Let's move on
to Batman versus Superman.
Let's move on to
that's my jam right there. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, of course.
Dawn of Justice.
March.
The longest title ever known. We're going to fight.
But I want to move on to beers.
Yes, I do too.
Beers, all kinds of beers. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese beers. Glug, 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 glug.
All right. Kelly, what have you prepared for us today?
I haven't prepared anything, but Ballast Point has prepared a Scottish ale called Piper Down.
Piper Down.
It's quite refreshing and delicious. It's 11 in the morning, and I'm not opposed to drinking this beer. I could probably keep drinking it all day.
Sometimes you just gotta do what your schedule permits.
Right.
You know, maybe you wouldn't be able to drink a beer later on in the
This
day.
is show research. I mean,
show research.
Doesn't matter what time it is.
It's a Scottish ale with a San Diego spirit.
It was delicious.
Is what the bottle says.
I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll say let's go.
Yeah, it's let's
So
go.
let's go. It's not like the best thing I've ever had, but
Yeah.
Ballast Point has, so far, with every ballast that I've had, has been on point.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this one and I said, I haven't had it, so let's give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And we did.
The first thing I ever had by them was like their IPA, which, I'm kind of,
the Sculpin.
yeah. And I'm kind of like just done with IPAs right now.
I'm really, okay, I'm kind of over the IPA hump as well. I've just been chugging Left Hand Nitro Milk Stout. Like, it's just my favorite beer.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to know what to get me Left Hand Nitro Milk Stout if you can find it.
But their grapefruit.
The grapefruit Sculpin is amazing.
That's really good.
And I just saw limited release that they posted on social networking, a pineapple Sculpin.
Ooh, I saw that actually.
So
Where did I see? I feel like I saw that at La Bodega.
you
Should have bought it.
should have bought it. I'm going to seek out said beer and try and give it a whirl in the next few weeks because I'm very excited. I thought the grapefruit one is phenomenal, and I could imagine the pineapple one being awesome.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
I'm into it.
Got that little bit of that caramel. Caramel. What a good beer. Yeah, I like when I kind of will stick to a brand if I know that they put out good stuff. So
Yeah.
like Ballast Point is starting to like be one of those. If I see it, I'm going to trust like what they put out. Like, okay, I'll try something new. Cause typically I wouldn't go and try like a pineapple beer.
Right.
I'm just like, dude, I don't want it. Sounds almost a little like,
I wouldn't either, but based on the grapefruit Sculpin,
Yeah.
absolutely.
because I hate like, and I wouldn't say it's like one of those like weird like apple Newton Folly beers. Like I'm not a big fan. Like great people, I'm sure, but not my jam.
Right.
But I would go for, after having the grapefruit Sculpin, that thing was great, especially in the can, because I think we had them in the can, right?
Yep.
So good. So they're there. I think they're starting to get there to where like if I see something that they've made, I'm going to try it. I'm more likely to take like that dive and invest into, hey, I'm going to have this.
Yeah. The buddy
Pineapple
of mine actually suggested, he said Ballast makes one called the Intra Canindra. I have no
wanna
idea.
have that. Just because.
He said it's a little pricier for just one little bottle, but he said it's worth it. It's delicious. So I'm going to try and seek that out. I might go to my La Bodega or the nearest Bevmo and see what I can find.
Yeah.
I do still have a Christmas gift card, so I got to spend that bad boy.
Make it happen.
Get some research beers.
Yeah. So yeah, we need to get some more research. We need more beers.
We need more research.
Yeah.
More research.
I want to try that Commodore. They have a Commodore. It's like they're kind of like stout.
That sounds sexy.
Yeah. You know, I just like that.
Yeah,
and I
girl.
like their artwork.
Yeah.
Like that helps out a lot. Like visually, I'm like, man, I want to try that beer. You know, Lagunitas is like that with me. I'll try anything they put out right now. I'm like, oh, what are you putting out?
Right.
Like their IPA probably is my favorite IPA. If I ever need to go buy an IPA, I'll go to them.
Right.
But I think I trust them now. Like, oh, whatever they put out is going to be good. So it's good to have. Yeah. It's good to have a beer company. You can trust.
Forever in the neighborhood of Northern California, we should go to the brewery. It's fun.
We definitely need to go to that brewery. We just need to go to breweries in general. Like,
I did.
every day. So
I've been to a couple.
hey. So what do you say?
3.
Gotta go.
I'm gonna say let's
go.
Let's go on the Piper Down.
Yeah, good stuff. The Piper Down. If I can drink a beer at 11 o'clock in the afternoon
And enjoy it.
in the early afternoon. Hey, you may call it morning. I call it early afternoon.
I call it's noon somewhere.
Yeah. Then
It's noon in Texas.
definitely gonna have it. It is noon in Texas. It's probably like 2 o'clock in Texas.
Yeah.
So if you're in Texas right now, enjoy a delicious, enjoy a Ballast Point Piper Down. Delicious beer.
Delicious beer.
So awesome.
We have to move
Good
on
job,
to
Gil.
something that Justin has been grinding my gears about forever,
Yes.
but we finally made it happen, and I can officially redeem my man card because we watched Training Day.
Yes, the 2001 Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke
Classic
Training Day. I was really excited to see that this came on Netflix. I was like, it's going to be a lot easier for Kelly to view this. So
it was good viewing.
I kind of wish you never watched it because it would be a running joke. Oh, and anytime we bring up Denzel Washington, like, oh, Kelly didn't see Training Day.
Right.
But okay, so what's your thoughts? Initial, like,
I thought it was a good movie. It was a good flick. I mean, I don't know. You're going to think I'm being disrespectful. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the best movie ever. I need to watch Training Day every minute, every day. But it was a good movie.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the best movie ever made.
Right.
It's not like Die Hard, but
you do get to enjoy Eva Mendes's figure in that one.
Eva Mendes. That was like her first movie, I think. I think that's like the first thing she ever like did. It was like, oh, hi, I'm Eva Mendes. How are you doing? I'm Denzel Washington.
Eva Mendes is my lady.
Yeah, I mean, when you look, one thing that when we were watching it, it was kind of funny. I was like, when you start putting Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg in your movie, it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, because all I was thinking was, that's Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
It's not an actor. It took me out of the moment a little bit, but I'm sure it was like somebody's friend. They're like, dude, this is.
You know, he was pretty convincing.
He was convincing, but if you could
remove the Snoop Doggedness, or if you could just remove yourself from the fact that it is Snoop Dogg, that he's a rapper, if it was just some like Joe Schmo, like
all I saw was like Snoop Dogg being silly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not even really a complaint. It's just like a minor, like, it was kind of neat to see him like, oh, there's Snoop Dogg, but like, I don't really buy
Snoop Deal Double G.
Yeah. But
so solid movie. I'd give it a let's go. I'd say anybody that's not sensitive to swearing, drug use, and or nudity, go see it.
Like if you're not sensitive to real life.
Yeah, if you're not sensitive
stuff
to
that
real
happens
life.
every day in LA.
That's true.
Actually, probably not. I don't know if this is like a true to life story of like corruption in the police force, but I don't know. I really like this movie. It was nice to watch it again. Nice to watch it with my best buddy in the world. Yeah, I think I originally saw this movie with my brother-in-law and sister, like when it came out back in the day.
Interesting.
Yeah, long time ago. Yeah, good movie. Ethan Hawke, man. Like to see him do something again. I mean, he does stuff, but like,
I mean, he does.
I always
stuff,
like when he's in a movie. I
stuff.
always enjoy him. I'm like, oh, he's a good guy. He's a good actor.
Yeah,
he does stuff. I don't know what the last time I saw him in was anything. I can't think of the last movie.
Yeah,
like, I think he was in The Purge, but I never watched it. The first one I saw The Purge 2. Remember we saw Purge 2?
Yeah, he was in the original one.
Yeah, but that's like the last thing I can recall, like seeing a thing. Oh, he's in The Purge. But
yeah, here's my. I have a quick gripe with the original Purge. It was short, like really short. Like I want to say under an hour and a half.
Usually a movie's like 90. Let's see,
at least 90 minutes. It was short. And I feel like they could have, because they kind of did it from a one family perspective in one house. I understand if you're shooting on a budget, that's probably a good way to go. But I like the fact that in Purge Anarchy, they like were out in the city and then like stuck in it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's kind of a different concept, and there is way more possibilities for excitement.
Gotcha. I like Purge too.
Yeah.
it was fun. All right. So you got Training Day out of your system.
I did.
Feeling good about that?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel great.
I'm glad you watched Training Day.
I did.
All right. So some future stuff maybe.
Future stuff?
Actually, some shows. I've been watching
shows.
Watch Legends of Tomorrow. I liked it.
I have.
Did you see it?
I've been dabbling.
Okay.
Like the wife puts it on, and I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. You're time traveling. You're trying to save."
Your wife was way more nerdy than you in certain things.
Yeah.
But you guys are nerdy together really good too.
Yeah. She watches a lot of TV, so I'm more of a movie guy.
Yeah.
Like if I turn on the television, I'm either watching news or I'm watching like HBO.
Yeah.
Or Cinemax or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm watching movies
in the background,
not television.
I hear you.
She loves TV. I'm like Hulu's for her, Netflix is for me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's like because you get more. Like with the TV show, like you can get a little more out of it. A movie, you're like, better be epic, it better be like worth my money, or like because you really have to invest. Where in a TV show, it just you can get to know a character more.
If we're talking streaming, I am gonna give Let's Go Podcasts first. Don't go ever
Okay.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Worst thing I've ever seen.
What's
in my
that on
life.
right now?
It was on, I think it's on Hulu, actually.
Really?
It was awful. Stupid, just retarded. Pardon my French if you get offended by the word retarded. It was terrible. Awful, awful, awful. Don't go. Don't even think about going. Don't even watch it.
Really? I saw the first one. I thought the first one was stupid.
I thought the first one had funny moments, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
There's like a few funny parts, whatever. John Cusack, obviously, I can see why he did not.
Oh, I was just going to say, was he in the second one?
He was not in the second one, and I can see exactly why, because it was just a big floating turd that would not flush. It was awful. I was like, okay, I'm hopeful because the first one was pretty funny. I laughed. This was just, what?
Really?
Yeah.
But it's got Lisa Loeb in it.
I don't know. Wasn't feeling it. Even for like the amount of people that were in that movie that had
Like it was just dumb?
no name. It was just awful.
Huh. Even Craig Robinson?
Yeah.
I like Craig Robinson. Me and my wife have been going through The Office again, like watching it like at nighttime while we're working on stuff. And I was like, Craig Robinson, he makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, all those guys are like funny on their own. What's that guy's name? Rob Corddry?
Rob Corddry?
Yeah. Like all those dudes are pretty funny in most of the other stuff I saw, but this was just not good.
Well,
I was surprised I didn't turn it
Hot
off.
Tub Time Machine Part 2.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I get the fact that it's that, but why would you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood's just like running out of ideas, man.
It cost them $14 million to make, and they made about 12 and a half. So
it did not do well.
Did not
at
do
all.
well. So kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer, you guys. They're like, maybe, we'll make some money on this Hot Tub Time Machine movie, but didn't happen, man. Feel bad.
That's ridiculous.
Was the first one that big of a hit though?
I don't know. Look it up.
Let's see. The first, I think it's funny that we're investigating this. The first Hot Tub Time Machine, wow, cost $36 million to make, probably with marketing and stuff, and it made 50. So they made about $14 million on it. Which usually a comedy, these type of comedies usually and horror movies are cheap to produce, and they make enough money so that a studio can make a bigger movie. Like, okay, so if
I think we need to make a movie.
I would love to write a movie because I think if we wrote a movie, it'd be really good.
I think so too.
I have a couple scenes in my head.
You heard it first here, folks.
The Let's Go movie. It's called Let's Go, starring Justin and Kelly.
Team 75 Productions.
Team 75 Productions brings to you a movie with heart, romance, action, and adventure.
And beer.
And beer. There it is. The whole point of the movie is we got to get a grapefruit sculpin.
Grapefruit sculpin.
They're sold out everywhere.
It must be found.
We must
It's a
get
great
it.
white whale.
So that was terrible, huh?
Awful.
Oh, man.
Absolutely
So
awful.
you're going to give it a don't go.
Don't go. Whatever
go.
the lowest rating we
If you're on
ever came
Hulu
up.
and you're done watching Hell's Kitchen
you think you
Kids
can
edition,
dance.
so you think you can dance. Oh, Kelly, you're going to hate me.
What?
So, okay, first off, I just wanted to finish up Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's really fun.
Yeah, give it a,
I mean,
I'll
okay.
give it a go to Let's Go just
Okay.
based on like the maybe 20 minutes of the first 2 episodes that I've watched. I'll give it a fair rating.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, because it ties into Arrow and it ties into Green Arrow. I mean, sorry, it ties into Arrow and Flash. And so I like universe building. It's also a CW show, so it's about everyone looks good.
Right.
Like, hey, I've got abs. I got abs on my neck.
Right.
You know, everyone's. So sometimes you lose a little bit of like talent with like good looks, but it's a fun idea. I love the time travel aspect of it, and I like the character. I like freaking Brandon Routh. He's the Atom guy.
Yeah.
So I enjoy him on the show because I liked him when he was on Arrow. I thought he was fun. I don't care for the Hawkman people. And I love Hawkman as a character, but the guy who plays Hawkman sucks.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm good looking, and that's it. And then the chick who plays Hot Girl, she's like Rosario Dawson, like, like, I don't know. She's like, looks very beautiful, but she always looks like she's like, has this look on her face like she's pondering something. She doesn't like have any emotion other than like, what's going on? I'm time traveling. Like the inquisitive. Yeah. She's always like, her face is always inquisitive, like one straight eyebrow, one arch eyebrow, and that's it. And my other complaint, sorry.
It's okay.
So it's like, why do their wings all of a sudden just disappear? I'm like, where do their wings go?
They
Like,
hide.
I don't know. The comics, they never hid they're always just had their wings out because they wear them.
Because they're hawks.
Anyways, but other than that, I like it. I like the whole show. It's fun, and I'm excited about what they're gonna do. Because I've seen like, oh, they're gonna do some like future stuff. Then we're gonna do some past stuff. We're gonna see some crazy. We're gonna see like Green Arrow in the future.
Yeah,
we're gonna see some cowboy stuff. So, anyways, I love that show. I think it's a let's go. I don't think it's a gotta go yet because there's still some
things that need to be fleshed out.
Yeah, but right now it's a definitely a let's go watch Legends of Tomorrow. But sometimes I wish CW didn't do these things, or I wish that CW would be like, hey, we don't have to always like market to, I don't know,
teenagers.
Maybe, I don't know if it's teenagers, just like that the way they cast people.
Right.
Like, I'm surprised there's an old man on the show, like that Victor Garber guy. Like, I'm surprised they didn't make him like, a 27-year-old smart guy. Like, oh, I'm just so smart and hot. And, that character needs to be kind of old, like, but I don't know. CW.
They need to have a little
it's
wisdom
the CW, dude. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Good show. I love it. So I have to confess to you.
Okay.
I've been watching The Bachelor. Have you ever seen that show?
What?
Yeah, my wife was like, can you watch a show with me and don't make fun of it? Which is really hard. And I'll just tell you this. It's I've seen the show before. It's just a terrible show.
I
so
wish
don't
all
go.
of you could see the look on my face right now.
Yeah, Kelly's face right now is like, why are you watching it? But it's an interesting like study on self-worth, and these girls
have none.
Well, here's the thing. They're all beautiful. But they're all like most of them are under 26.
Yeah. And
they're putting all their worth on like, this guy's the best. And I'm just like, if you were on this show and you were like hanging out somewhere with people, you would probably be, hey, I would love to date you. Like there's nothing wrong with any of them. Well, there's a few that I'm like, girl, you're crazy. But anyways,
you are crazy.
I would say it's a let's go because it's funny to watch, but it's a don't go of like, you kidding me? Like, I don't see why you would need to watch the show more than like one season because it's the same thing. It's like these girls and there's a drama and there's a lot of like catfighty stuff. And like as a producer, I would say keep the crazy girl on because where we're at right now, I'm like, all these girls are decent except this one crazy girl.
Right.
So they're like, don't give her a rose. Keep her. I feel like they're like, don't give her a rose. Keep her there forever because it's going to create drama.
Right.
Anyways. It's just really sad. But I told my wife we should do a drinking game because every
I was going to say Bachelor would make like a funny party drinking game.
Every episode, all they say is like, he's incredible. It was so incredible. Like he woke up and it was incredible. And I'm like, this guy doesn't plan the dates.
Right.
Like the producers find a sponsor and like, okay, you're going to be in a helicopter ride. This guy's just like, he wakes up and he's like, all right, what are we doing today? Cool. I'm going to take you. Dude, it's the win for him. He gets to make out with like 13 girls every date. They go off for like 20 minutes, make out, come back, like, oh, I just really have a lot of feelings for you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you girls are dumb. That's it. Anyways, concept of The Bachelor, don't go.
Yeah.
As a show, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's probably better than Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Oh, I will.
They should do Hot Tub Time Machine 3 with the cast of The Bachelor. Because everyone's in a hot tub and they're in a time machine.
That would be quite interesting.
It would be incredible.
It's incredible. It's all
he
incredible.
Loves me. But right now, as you're on this testimony, he's making out with the other girl that you hate. FYI.
Isn't that incredible?
That's so incredible. He's so incredible. I don't even care. Stupid. All right. Stupid. They're stupid. So there you go.
What else? What are you looking forward to? Okay, I'm gonna guess the top 3 films that Justin is looking forward to.
My top 2016 films.
Yeah. Batman v Superman, obviously. Suicide Squad.
Yes.
And there's something coming out in May that I'm like drawing a blank on right now.
Come on, Kelly.
I know. I should probably know it.
It's like 2 friends getting in a fight with each other, and they wear tights.
Well, we already did Batman v. Captain America.
Yeah, Civil War.
There we go. Civil War.
Yeah. So those are like my top like superhero. I mean, I love men in tights.
Isn't it like March, April, May?
That's May. So March is Batman v Superman.
Right. April isn't April Suicide Squad?
No. Suicide Squad comes out in August.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we got some time.
Oh, okay.
But Civil War is in May.
All right.
So Marvel usually puts like their big movie out in May. Like Avengers is May.
Right.
And they'll follow it up like either like in November or August. Like depends on what their schedule is. So that's kind of, those are like my three, like, oh, I can't wait for those. But there's a few movies that I think there's a few movies out right now that I want to see. I wanted to see that movie that Michael Bay just put out. 13 out? Is it 13? No, it's like
the Benghazi thing?
Yeah, dude, that looks pretty good. Like I want to see that. I want to see
I don't. It'll just make me mad.
Hail Caesar looks kind of funny. It's like a comedy with like
George Clooney or whatever.
that looks funny.
That looks good.
There's a lot, dude. Oh, Deadpool. I want to see Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
That looks really funny.
Holy crap.
I'm not like, here's the thing. Like I don't really like the character of Deadpool because I think he's kind of annoying, but as a movie, it probably works a lot better.
They couldn't have cast it better with Ryan Reynolds.
Well, he was already Deadpool in that Wolverine movie. Remember that? And it was awful. That movie just sucked.
Okay.
And they messed up the character. Like the thing with Deadpool is like he's sarcastic and how he is in those trailers. Like in the movie, they like sewed his mouth up and then gave him like knife hands for whatever reason. I don't know. He doesn't have knife hands.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it was really dumb. You're just like
the marketing team behind the Deadpool movie is absolutely genius. Like all the stuff they're putting up online is hilarious.
Oh yeah. Like and then Zoolander 2. I kind of want to see that. Part of me was like, dude, they should have done this a long time ago, but it looks kind of fun.
Yeah. I'm withholding judgment yet.
Yeah.
On that.
There is a sequel to SLC Punk called Punk's Dead.
I don't know. I'm kind of done with the sequels and reboots. Let's just continue on. I mean, obviously the comic sequels are great.
He's like, wait a second.
Because there's like,
Well, I like when a story goes on. I don't know if SLT.
Yeah, but there's
Punk needed a sequel.
certain things that just don't need to go on. Like they're doing a second Cloverfield movie.
I still haven't watched any of that yet.
Even though
I think isn't it different though? It's like
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Who really hasn't let me down yet.
Yeah.
By the way, secret plug: if you haven't seen Fringe, go watch Fringe.
Kelly loves Fringe.
It's so good.
I just can't get into it. I don't know why. I try. I watched like the first 4 episodes. And I just
keep trucking. Get through the first season, and then
let me finish The Office, and I guarantee you I will try.
All right.
But Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane
comes out in March.
Is gonna be it's produced by J. He didn't direct it. Produced by JJ, and it was weird. The preview was like a dude, a chick, and John Goodman in a it looked like a normal house, but it turns out that it was a bunker. And then one day she escapes the bunker and she's gonna go outside, and he's like, "Don't go out there." And then that was the end of the preview. I watched it last night on Hulu. The preview.
Really?
The preview.
Okay, so I read here's like the synopsis of Cloverfield Lane. Okay. This is said to be the long talked about sequel to the J.J. Abrams produced 2008 film Cloverfield. Having said that, this is not a direct sequel, but it's more of a spin-off. But the film is set in the same universe. As J.J. Abrams told Collider, the idea came up a long time ago during production. We wanted to make it a blood relative of Cloverfield. The idea was to develop this over time. They wanted to hold back the title for a long time. The thing is, I guess it's not anything to do with aliens, but it's like a lady, she's abducted, and it exists in the same universe, but has nothing to do with the alien attack. Which is kind of weird. It's just like, hey, I mean, they're creating a universe. They're probably trying to sell it on the Cloverfield name, but I don't think it has anything to do with the aliens.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
excited about it.
Not excited about it. And I'm
mildly excited about it.
I don't know if Ghostbusters, if the second one or the third one.
Yeah, dude. But that's okay. So we'll go through a list. Like March.
Oh boy.
Divergent series. I don't know. I haven't seen any of those movies.
Allegiant is the next one.
Are you about that or what?
I'm not all about it, but I've seen the first 2, so I probably will end up just going to see the third one anyway.
Pee-wee's Big Holiday comes out on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's weird to put it out in March. Nothing really big popping up until Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Yes. Big Fat Greek Wedding, like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of like Amityville, something, and then like April's pretty weak, and then Jungle Book comes out. That actually looks kind of good.
Yeah.
And you're gonna laugh, but I kind of want to see the barbershop next cut.
Next cut.
I don't know what it is, dude.
We'll see.
I like some of that stuff. Yeah, nothing else really coming out till you see.
We've kind of hit a lull. I feel like other than those movies, we've kind of hit a lull with movies. And then musically, I feel like we've kind of hit a lull. Like there's nothing been that I've heard recently that has been like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Well, it's more like time because I really wanted to watch Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted to go and watch Creed and I just never made time. And I just didn't have time. It's so hard with like schedules.
Yeah.
So my plan is to try and watch it within the week.
It's
just kind of like, who wants to hear about a movie that's like 2 months old, like Star Wars? Well, but Creed looked good. There's a lot of good movies out right now. I just think that it's just a time thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think once you look past like the blockbusters, you're like, oh, that looks good. You know, I used to be really good at watching some type of indie flicks and the death of the video stores kind of killed that. Cause I used to go to kind of a local video store and the guy would be like, oh, you should watch this. Cause I think when you do it on Netflix, you're just bombarded with so much, you don't know what to pick.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that kind of sucked.
Just go look for like a 4 or 5 star rated movie that you've never heard of. And then
watch that. Yeah, it's good.
It's
very true.
It's a decent idea.
Yeah. I say I will do that. Or you get stuck watching like, what the crap was this, dude?
What just happened?
Yeah. I think there's more good stuff on TV right now than like I would lean more towards Hulu right now than Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's some good shows. Like you watch Grindr. That's a fun show. Bob Lowe.
No.
That show is funny.
I'm slacking on the TV front, man. I told you. I
like Last Man in the Universe or like something like
Last
that.
Man Standing.
Last Man Standing is different. That's like a Tim Allen show.
Oh, The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, Last Man on Earth. That movie's funny with Will Forte.
Yeah,
that show's a funny show. So I want to watch the new X-Files stuff. Haven't had a chance. But it's, you know why? It's because I'm binge watching The Office with my wife at nighttime as we do work. Because it's in the background because we have to focus.
Right.
But like, oh, that was funny, Michael Scott.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. I think The Office is funny. Watching it again. Did you ever watch The Office?
No.
You never watched The Office?
No.
Oh, I think you would love.
It's like the next training day now, Justin.
Yeah.
Break my balls for not watching
The Office is really funny. Like, we're getting to the parts where it's like, they should have just stopped when
Steve Carell.
Yeah, when Steve Carell left, they should have just ended the show. Because then it was like, who cares?
Yeah.
But anyways, enough about that. That was good, Kelly.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good to kind of meet and talk.
Talk
about stuff.
We should do it more often.
We should do it more often, yeah. Maybe
I think our listeners would agree.
They would agree. If you would like us to talk more often and do this more often, please let us know.
Send us some suggestions too.
Yes. Ooh, I would love suggestions. So
how would they do that?
They would hit us up on all of our social media. Basically, wherever you're at on social media,
Let's Go
use
Cast.
the word Let's Go Cast. Yeah. So
Instagram.
on Twitter, at Let's Go Cast, Instagram at Let's Go Cast, Facebook.com/Let's Go Cast. You can email us at letsgocast@gmail.com, or you can visit our website at www.letsgocast.com. We're Shazam. There you go. What's Shazam?
I don't know.
We're not on Shazam. You can use Shazam while our podcast is playing, and then
I wonder if that would happen.
It probably wouldn't do anything.
I wonder if you Shazammed our podcast, if it would like take you to the link.
No, it would just be.
It does it for movies. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't pay Shazam anything.
Oh, well.
There you go.
We don't.
Maybe someone would be like, "What is this podcast?" Look at your phone. Oh,
I don't pay anybody anything.
It's them. So okay, that is it. My name's Justin.
My name's Kelly.
Let's go.
Let's go.